So I've taken everything out of the studio. What up with you guys? You know who it is. It's your boy, John Mike, AKA Juan Miguel. You know, I like saying that. I know I've been absentee on the channel for quite a while with videos, but that's because over the course of the last 6 months of my life, I have been rebuilding my studio from scratch down here in my basement. So today I'm going to kind of cover the entire build and how we kind of like built everything out from my podcast studio to my control room to the live room, the living room, all of that stuff like that. We're going to talk about it today and let's get into it. So as you know, whenever you're doing a renovation or anything of this like, there's always going to be a whole lot of moving parts and a whole lot of things and a whole lot of money that's going to go into that. And I'm going to tell you exactly how much all of this cost me. You got to stay tuned. So what we did was the first thing we had to do above everything, we had to pull up all of the carpet. All of the carpet. I got all my kids down here and we all worked together for pretty much like several hours just pulling up all of the carpet, rolling it up. And then we found the underlayment under it. We had to pull all of that up just to get down to the slab because down here in this basement, it's built on a slab. It's not built on any kind of like, you know, wood floor, wood underlayment is built on the slab. So with that, there was a ton of like sticky residue that was there for left behind on the underlayment that I had to literally get down and scrape with a paint scraper to get it all up. But once we got all of that up, then we were able to prep the floors to be able to be ready for the underlayment and everything that was going to go on that. So let's get to the specifics of everything. When it comes to the floors, that's what I want to start with first. I went to a place called Floor and Decor. And we picked up this nice kind of pine wood looking floors that kind of matches the design that I already had in my control room. So we went with that. So there's roughly about 1,500 square feet of space down here in the basement. That, you know, the wood was about maybe $1 or so a square foot. So that ended up running me somewhere in the neighborhood of about $4,000 just on the floors itself. So I hired out this guy by the name of Scruse. I'll put his information down in the description of this video in case one of you guys want to hire him from the work, especially if you guys live out here in the Carolina area. You can hit him up for that kind of work. But he was able to come through here and start working on building out my floor. So once we had prepped the floor and got all of that up, because that saved me a ton of money. And that's a tip on how you guys can save money on doing these sorts of things, because if you prep the floors and do yourself, you could probably save yourself about $1,000 just on labor. And that saved me a ton of money just by doing that outside of my cost, because I was able to get my kids down here and prep the floors for us. So when he finally got started on the floors, he started in the control room and then he worked his way out here into the main area and laid those down. That whole process took about 3 to 4 days to complete just because of all of the different, you know, ways that this room is shaped and the whole basement is shaped. Took him a couple of days to really kind of work around all of those different things. But after he finished that, the next project that we moved into was doing my lights and hanging my panels up here. So as you can see in here, this is my podcast area, or what we call the living room, where I do this as a flex space, which means I use it for podcasting. I use it for what we call living room sessions, which is live performances, things that we do. You can find all of that on my Gospel Producers channel, links in the description. But we do all of that. We pod, we do living room sessions. I do full-on recording sessions down here, all in this space right here. So this is my flex space where I'm able to kind of do a lot of those things. So we wanted to set this space up to be really, really kind of a vibe and be able to do what I needed to do. So we hung from the ceiling like acoustic panels, because if you know, if you notice, I have 12-foot ceilings down here. So they're really, really high. So there's a lot of reflections that you get if you know anything anything about acoustic treatment. So on top of doing all of my other panels, we decided to hang panels from the ceiling to help with some of the reflections and stuff that we get for recording. So we hung and built a cloud pretty much all the way around the ceiling. And we also hung the lights. So I have a part where I did with Scruse where I showed how we hung the lights and stuff like that. I used my phone for it, but I guys want you to check this out because I did it right there in the moment. So I got the Deacon up there putting in some sockets for me on the ceiling, and he removed my ceiling fan. And what we're gonna do is take my light here, which is a NAND light. I got it covered up, but it's like it's the same thing as this. It's this thing right here, my spotlight softbox light. And so we can get center light right in the center of the room that points down. We're gonna hang this softbox from the ceiling, and how he's planning on doing it is he's gonna use this hook to secure it up there and probably zip tie it off and everything to make sure it's, nice and functional and tight. But that's going to be the vibe that's going to allow me to get like center light. And then we'll try, since we got power up there, because he's putting, was it 6? You said 6?
Yeah, 6 outlets.
6 outlets up there. That'll give me a way to run power to other lights that I can put right up here. And in the other corner, we'll figure out where we're going to place those. But for now, that's what we're working on. And that's how we're going to mount this. So that helps by having this light up here in the center and then having my power so I can have it to mount my camera and top down stuff like that for top down shots, and being able to that gives me more round light and top light and really lights up this space for when we're doing podcasting. But we also have mounted other lights in all of the corners in this particular section. Like in this corner, I have like just a regular Amazon light that you get that I've had for years. But in the top and on the corners, I used my bigger lights and stuff for that. And then also the accent colors, I put some very generic kind of GVM color-based lights up in the corner just to kind of cover that. And that's pretty much the lighting in this space. And it gives a vibe when we're doing podcasting and living room sessions and all of those things like that. I'm excited to reveal something game-changing for us and for you as producers and musicians. I want to introduce to you Peculiar Sounds version 2. We've introduced standalone mode, allowing you to use it independently from any DAW. You can now blend up to 2 sounds to create rich and complex textures. We added in 2 brand new effects, the Lo-Fizer and the Mod Filter. The Lo-Fizer gives you instant lo-fi vibes with just a button, while the Mod Filter adds dynamic movement and flow to any sound you apply it to. And we also added the innovative new MIDI browser that provides you with hundreds of chord progressions, melodies, and drum loop MIDI files that you can drag straight into your DAW. And as a bonus, V2 now includes Sounds Off the Block expansion for totally free, bringing the total to over 400 patches. So as you can see, Peculiar Sounds V2 is not just an update, it's a revolutionary new plugin. So make sure you check the website right now and you can get your hands on this game-changing plugin. So next, I want to talk about this beautiful wall design that we have here. It is kind of like my centerpiece of my piece de la resistance when it comes, probably not how you say that, right? But my piece, accent piece for this, my accent wall that we built for this particular space to kind of give it some more vibe and make it, really, really dope when it comes to content stuff and things like that. So we did that. And so Scruse, when he was building this out, he's just a master at like all of these type things and these designs and stuff like that. Like he did my design in my control room that I showed you guys in another video. But he did that design in there. And so I wanted him to do something special with this particular wall. So I asked him to kind of come up with a design, and this is what he came up with. It's really, really dope design, as you can see. And it took him about 2 days or so to just kind of, solidify it and finish it. And, we got it, and I'm really, really pleased with the results, and it looks really, really good on video. Now, I'm going to do a full studio tour soon where I really go through all of this, but I'm also going to do individual videos where I talk about this podcast setup and all the equipment and all of the other studio pieces like my drums and, you know, all of this stuff over here. I'm going to talk about those in separate videos. In this video, I just wanted to focus on the build itself. So that's what we're going to be talking about. So moving on to the next section, I want to talk about the control room and how the work that we did in here. So first I put up this door. I found this door. I had a regular door, kind of like this one right here, but we found this door on the Facebook Marketplace, glass door. I paid about $150 for it. But what's also really, really cool about this door is that on Amazon, I found this fingerprint lock that works kind of like how the iPhone used to work, where you put your fingerprint on, and I can actually unlock this door just by using my fingerprint, and it opens up. But without it, you know, it's locked. So even if I choose a different finger or somebody else puts their finger there, it won't do it. But if I have the finger that I own there, you can open it up. So I think that's really, really cool. And then I had my son paint it black. So speaking of control room, let's go in here and let's talk about this area in here and how we kind of scaled and built this out. So now I like to have my lights off. It's not as bright as it is out here. I'm a vampire. I'm down here all of the day long working in the dark. That's just me. I like the vibe. So that's just what it is. But we did the same kind of treatment in here in that we put up the same kind of panels that we have out there, built a cloud all the way around. That helps with the acoustics and stuff in here. And I got this desk. This is like my centerpiece. And as you guys know, I was the raving guy for all of these years. But now I have transitioned over to the studio desk, which is actually made by a company called Studio Desk, which is really, really dope. I'm going to do a whole video just on this desk. Again, I'm not going to talk about it in detail in this video because I want to tell you guys about what I think about it versus the Raven and why I went with this specifically. But it's a really, really dope desk. And I got it primarily because I was upgrading to as far as interface and recording to the Studio Live 32S. So I got this board and I got a pull-out tray that has my Roland A88 in here. So I'll talk about all of those particular pieces of equipment on a different video. But you know, the other thing we did was we hung this TV up here. It's a 75-inch. This is a regular, smegular Walmart TV that you get from Walmart. It's the 75-inch. And we got this specifically because of one thing. This is what really made me buy it, is it has AirPlay built into it. That's the main reason why I wanted this, is because of AirPlay. And with AirPlay and Max, they work really, really good together because I don't have to have a cable ran from here up to this TV in order to get my screen up here and use this as a secondary screen. So I'm able to just AirPlay mirror my screen up here. And it works really, really good for an aux screen when I'm recording or when I'm doing things. It's a client monitor. So anybody that's in here, they're sitting on the couch or they're doing, doing their thing in here, they can see this and they don't have to come over here and stand and look over my shoulder in order to kind of get a vibe going on or what have you. Now, the other biggest thing that we did in here was we got my gospel producer sign. That's my business. This is my baby. So we got this sign here. I got it from a company. I'll put their link down in the description. It escapes me at this moment. But it was about $400 just for this piece right here. But I thought it was really good. Now, it took a long time. It took almost maybe 3 weeks to get here. That's from concept of design to it being up here. But I know the thing that you guys are really, 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 really wanting to know about, and that is the Synth Wall that I have here. I put a whole lot of thought and detail in it. And again, because I don't want this video to be super long, I'm going to do an individual video on how we built this out specifically. But and as far as like the equipment and all of that, but I have a bunch of synths here: Sub 37, Mini Log, a Gaia 2, old Kurzweil PC, SP88. I've got that here. And then over here, I got some workstations, the Nautilus, the Akai, MPC Key 61. And then I have a little little Korg X5 over here that you guys can't see off camera, but I got another piece that's coming in this week that's going to be replacing that. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But these were basic boards. I got these off of Amazon. These are like 2x4 kind of boards, like 2 foot tall, 4 foot wide boards, and then we stacked them on top of each other, and then we got these little slits, these little slat wall like stands, like keyboard stands, because the vibe I was trying to go for was Guitar Center. So I spent a lot of time thinking about it. I actually went to Guitar Center and looked at how they were doing it and came back and I sent it to Scruse and I was like, this is what I'm trying to do. And so we found the pieces on there. I think these boards were like about $150, $160 or so. That was just for 2 pieces. You got 2 pieces with them. And so I got 4 blocks, and then we got the slat stands. They were like about $40 a pack, and so I just got enough for my boards. I got about maybe 7 or 8 of them or so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, about 8 of them that I got to be able to hold my boards on there. Now you want to make sure that you drill them into your studs, and you want to make sure you get it in, get a stud bottom, top on each day if you're going to be doing this yourself, because of the weight of these boards that's going on there, and also because of just, you know, industrial, you know, stuff that has to do with carpentry that I know nothing about. I just know you need to make sure, because Scruse did it for me. He's like, tell them to make sure that they get it in the stud specifically. All right, so that's that with the slat wall. We put a lot of thought and a lot of work into that. And that is pretty much the studio build in a new kind of vibe. Again, I'm going to be doing some more direct videos where I talk about the desk, where I talk about the podcast setup, when I talk about the slat wall, the synth wall, how we built all of this stuff out specifically, and how I have everything routed and wired. I'm going to be talking about my computer setup and all of those things in a whole different video. This is strictly about the studio build. Let me know down in the comments which one you're the most excited about and which one you would want to see next on this channel. Do you want to know more about the desk? Do you want to know more about the synth wall? Do you want to know more about the podcast setup? Let me know what you guys think down in the description. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was a blessing to you. I hope it gave you some ideas on how to build out your particular thing. But that's all I want to give with you guys. That's all I have for you guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I'm out. Holla at your boy.